Hi everyone, I'm Amrita and welcome to my channel Fries and Shine. Here you will find evidence-based, no-nonsense, nutrition-related information. Today's video is a viewer request video from one of my Instagram followers, Vinayak. If you have any particular videos or questions that you would like answered, please interact with me, leave comments in the section below, catch up with me on Instagram or email me on my email ID mentioned at the end of this video. In today's video, I'm going to discuss the often misunderstood and much dreaded belly fat. I'm going to discuss what it is, whether it can be reduced, and what you can do in terms of food and nutrition to reduce it. First things first, let's be very clear. It's normal and even important to have some amount of fat on the body. Fat serves some very important functions in our body. It's a source of energy for us, it provides cushioning to some of our organs, our brain needs fat to function properly, even our immune system needs fat to help us heal quickly. And some of our most important hormones in the body are made from fat. Where do we find fat in our body? Now, people are different and carry fat in different parts of their body. Some carry it in their thighs and buttocks, some carry it in their chest, some carry it in the belly region, some carry it all over. Most of where we carry fat in our body is determined by our genes. Now, of this fat that we carry, some of it is located just below the surface of our skin. This is the fat that gives our skin a dimpled look, and it's what gets removed in cosmetic procedures like liposuction. It's not so much this fat that we're worried about when we talk about health. Now, there is one place in the body where carrying excess fat can negatively impact your health, and this is the fat that you carry around your stomach. Popularly called pot belly or beer belly, this is the fat that puts you at risk for developing diseases like type 2 diabetes and heart disease. You can still be lean or thin all over, but if you carry excess fat around your belly or your abdomen, it can still increase your risk for disease because it makes it difficult for your body to use insulin. And why it is essential for your body to use insulin properly, you can find in my other video, linked right here or in the description below. So, this belly fat, called visceral fat, is located deep inside your abdomen and covers some of your most vital organs like your liver, your pancreas, and your intestines. Now remember, I mentioned above, it's normal to have some layer of fat around these organs because fat provides cushioning for them. It only becomes dangerous when this fat is in excess. In fact, this visceral fat is so close to the liver that the liver can actually use it to make cholesterol, which it then transports all over the body, which can increase risk of disease. Mind you, not all belly fat is visceral. Some of it is even the below the skin harmless kind, which is why I'm not saying you need to have a completely flat stomach. It's only harmful when it's in excess. Again, only harmful when it is in excess. So how can we limit or control this visceral fat? While our genetics is not something that we can actively control, diet and exercise are two factors that we can. So let's discuss how you can use food and food changes to minimize your visceral fat around the abdomen. Number 1, ensure that the majority of your food is rich in whole grains, fruits and vegetables. These food sources are very good sources of fiber, and fiber can actually prevent the absorption of some fat from your meals. Number 2, include good quality protein sources like eggs, poultry like chicken, dals, beans, pulses, and dairy products like paneer, milk, and curd. These food sources provide fullness to the meals and will reduce your chances of overeating and deposition of fat around the belly. Number 3, fats. I mentioned above that fats serve some really important functions in your body. So it is essential that you get these in your food too. In fact, there are some fats that your body can't even produce but are very important for it, so you have to get these through food. Eating fatty fish is a great way to get in some of these fats. If you are vegetarian, look to vegetarian fat sources like your nuts and seeds, especially flax seeds, for these fats. 4. You want to avoid excessive consumption of red meat, ghee, butter, coconut oil because these products raise the kind of fats that are not so great for your heart. Again, you don't need to completely avoid these foods, just limit their consumption. Number 5. Lastly and very importantly, eat according to your body's needs. Anything that you eat that is in excess of what your body needs will be converted to fat, no matter what you eat. I hope you have a better understanding of what belly fat is and what you can do to reduce it. Now I know I've mentioned a couple of steps that you need to follow, and doing all of these at once might seem overwhelming if you aren't already doing some of these. So pick one step at a time, maybe follow it for a week and then build up on it. You don't need to follow them all together. Even if you can follow just about 3 or 4 out of 5, you're already doing a fabulous job towards maintaining your long-term health. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please like, share and subscribe to our channel and share this video with people who you think might find it helpful. If you have any questions or concerns, you can leave them in the comments below. I hope to see you very soon. Until then, take care and keep shining.